so fast, all tied up like a captive. I want you. Used to pay to my mind life, standing on rainbows, playing it cool. I haven't felt this in ages, and I know my patience. So won't you please stay a bit longer? You're making me stronger, making me stronger. Stay a bit longer. You're making me stronger, making me
Close your eyes. Would you dream for me? Some paradise. Tell me who you see, 'cause I think I do want you next to me. Want you next to me, but does this work? 'Cause I know I can't get to you. I like the chase, and I know you do too. Am I just in love with the idea of you? 'Cause I'd cross a million seas. Would you do that for me? Yeah, I'd fly this whole world twice if I could be your paradise. Close your eyes. Will you dream for me? Some paradise. Tell me who you see, 'cause I think I know what you mean to me. What you mean to me, but does this work? Only 'cause we never say what we think. Waiting for the perfect way. Time.
You guys trying to be an imposter over here? Trying to be me? Is that what you're trying to do? Gotta get this situated. There we go. So, right. Nelson someone. Mad R. Akinaga. Refraction. G-Man. Smoke. Smokey. Rex, what up? Yeah, you like the bot icon? I thought you guys would approve of that. I said your name right. Is the music a little loud? Yeah, it's a little loud. Yeah, we'll turn it down a little bit. Okay, so here's the deal. Here's what we're gonna do. So, for those of you that don't know, I'll kind of explain it a little bit. We did a little. I got bored one day, and in the Game Dev Underground Discord, I set up bots. Akanaga, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. I set up a bot to allow chat rooms of people to. Basically, you could join one of two rooms, and you couldn't have access to both, so you had to kind of pick a side. And then I kept adding stuff onto it, and I was like, okay, this would be a fun game, but some people take it too seriously. Not going to name names of people that took it too seriously. And everything kind of went crazy for a few days as everybody was trying to figure stuff out. So I moved everything to a separate server. And my objective now is we're not going to put it back on the main server until I'm happy with it. So what we've got basically right now is all that I have for the bot basically at this point is the whole bot infrastructure and the part of the server infrastructure. So I have a database set up. I have a way to contact that database and all that stuff, but I don't actually have the game parts of it done. So here's what I kind of designed so far. How come I don't make 3D games? Because I don't really have a desire to make 3D games. I don't know. There's not really a 3D game that I'm just like dying to make it. Okay, so let me turn down my music. Okay, so the objective of the game is to have the most crystals in your team's bank by the end of the week. And here is what I'm thinking about that. So every day, once every 24 hours, you can use the command check in. That'll give you a random number of crystals between 4 and 10. Crystals are like credits or dollars or whatever you want to call it. That goes into your wallet, okay? And then you can deposit X amount of crystals or whatever you want into your team's bank. And the team that has the highest amount in their bank at the end of their week, they become the victors for the next week for 7 whole days. And basically what the victors get in Discord is they get access to all of the emotes. They can add or edit or delete any emotes they want off of the server. And so they can go in here into server settings and they go into emoji and they can upload their own emojis or they can delete emojis or whatever it is. Like I did with my server. I have lots of cool emojis here. Now, this is that wise? Now, here's the thing. Here's the thing. This is on a test server right now, okay? There obviously is a risk with that, right? There definitely is a risk with that. And so it's not going to the live server until we're 100% sure it's not going to go crazy, which it has the ability to. I can't think of, if anybody has any ideas of what the victors could get for the week that they're victorious, let me know. I was looking through like the Discord permissions and stuff. And for example, in the roles, because it has to be something that I can give them permission to do, right? So definitely can't give them like administrator rights or managed server or anything like that. Managed roles would fuck up the game. Managed channels could get dangerous. Kick members, ban members, no. Invites, potentially. Change their own nickname. That's not really fun. Manage emojis was fun. We could give them special permissions to certain chat rooms. We could give them voice permissions for the voice thing. We can have their ability to add reactions to posts, but that's still kind of underwhelming. Use the ability to use external emojis. That's kind of cool, but not really useful for people that don't do other stuff. You could play the Victor's game. What's that? Emotes can basically be images but smaller and in text form. Maybe this isn't that bad of an idea. There's 100 of them. The only thing that I can think of going wrong, and maybe I'm just being naive little Tim here, but the only thing I think could go wrong is like somebody uploads a picture of a dick or like some offensive or not safe for work material. And I would imagine that's going to happen at some point, but that's going to constitute a ban. If you added the ability to manage emojis, the innocent emoji would get deleted and guilty one place. Exactly. Well, that's part of the fun, right? Is like whoever wins for the week, they can just kind of take over all the emojis. And I would imagine there's going to be a lot of taunting and bragging and that kind of thing. So I'm prepared for that. I'm a little hesitant for like the offensive material type of stuff. So how much of my bot? Ratsail, I actually used some of your code. I used your main section. I used your setup section and your message system. I hope that's cool, because that really helped, by the way. Thank you for that. And you're going to see keys and stuff. Don't worry about the keys. The keys are all going to change after the stream. So I'm not worried about people seeing the keys. Because I'm going to change them all once we're done. Then how do you find who uploaded a certain emoji? Is there a confirmation on it? There's a log, so I can tell. That's a good question, though. Maybe I should check to see if I can figure out who uploaded certain emojis. I know there's a log where it says X user uploaded an emoji, but I'm not sure it says which emoji. Offensive things should be as concerning as posting images in the channel, which I don't think would be an issue unless it goes out of hand. Yeah, but why not make it RPG? These are the most fantastic and beautiful games, especially if you create a story behind it. I was thinking of having little, because I think we're beyond the gym thing now. So I don't think we're going to do like the Jim is a murderer as a part of the thing. I'm trying to create like a lore behind it. And basically this is what I got for the commands. I was going to have a black market command that has a series of items every day that you could buy with your wallet. So you can deposit in your bank, which goes towards your team's score, or you can buy items from the black market that would do random things like prevent deposits for 24 hours for both teams, or a disease that slows the check-in command for the other team, or the ability to give crystals to somebody, double the amount of credits deposited for 1 hour, send a taunt to the other team in their chat room, flip a coin for double or nothing, kind of gambling type of thing, remove a curse, which would be like something that someone else put on you, heist a certain user target, has a percentage to steal some of their crystals. I was thinking of like commands that could help interact with other players, right? Like make something interesting. PHP, oh sweet, you use it for years? Yeah, we're using PHP for the back end. PHP for the back end, and we're using Node and JS for the server, for the bot. And the bot's going to contact the server, and then this is PHP and MySQL is what we're using for the Will you show us an overview of your code? Yeah, when we're done. It's really messy and all over the place right now. Like I'm still like trying to figure out all this bot stuff. I'm completely new to Node and Discord bots, so literally this is like maybe an hour a day for a week of like Googling stuff and copying code off the internet and asking people for help, like Ratsale and stuff like that. So Node is fun. It is fun. I'm actually, once I got used to like the asynchronous programming and understanding it all. Will you make it so you can opt out of it completely so the text channels for the games don't even show up if you don't want to? Yes. First of all, my objective with doing it on a different server first is that like I want to iron out all the kinks before we roll it out to our server, because yeah, I don't want this to turn into a crazy chaotic game server. And to be honest, we might even keep it separate, like indefinitely, depending on what the game does. This is discord.io for the library. I was gonna use Discord.js, but I couldn't get it to work. Something was wrong with the thing, and Ratsale sent me his bot with Discord.io, and I was able to get that to work, so I just went with that. So yeah, so the design, this is the design we're actually building towards right now. And this is kind of in order of what I want. Check-in, which is only works once you've joined. Believe or deny, which actually joins you the group. Bank shows you the amount of crystals your group has. Wallet shows you how many crystals are in your wallet. Deposit allows you to move stuff from your wallet to the bank. And then Victor's black market is probably... That's probably phase 2. So we're going to reduce the scope as much as we can. I think maybe you can create a bot whose function would be to provide information on certain anime characters. Information on certain Pokemon anime characters. Maybe this helps. How would that help? I don't understand. Is that a joke? I don't get it. Really want to try to finish a damn game. Have the ability to put games in the App Store. Not the ability to finish one. I use HyperPad for game design. Finish a damn game. Do it. Don't wait. Do it. Alright, so the first thing we're going to have to get done is... Actually, I'm going to need my MySQL too. Because we're going to have to design the database. I didn't do that. I should have done that before stream. Alright, let me pull this off. Do you want to make a bot, right? So I just suggested an idea about... Oh, well, we have an idea. Yeah, I'm outlining the idea right now. But that's definitely an idea for a bot. Didn't someone make a Pokemon bot where you could, like, I don't know, play Pokemon, but like text-based Pokemon? The $ is not part of the parameter. That's just me knowing PHP just to say it's a variable. That's just my... I throw in like pseudocode to like in the descriptions too. So yeah, this is my weird way of doing stuff. I love Tim's I don't feel like doing shit video. Well, thank you, Shadow Demon. I literally didn't feel like doing shit that day. That was not staged. That was real. You have those days. Everybody has those days. Alright, let's get to work. This is past the gym thing. It'd be nice to have a command to repeat stories so we know what we're believing in tonight. Yeah, if anybody has any ideas for like the lore, I'm down to like skin this as something. Like we could make it a sci-fi thing, or we could make it a... If we come up with a name for it, I'm down for that too. We could just change like wallet to like credits, or you know, want to make it fantasy. If someone wants to come up with an idea on why you're in two opposing factions, I'm down to like expand on that. Use instead of for performance in PHP. I'm not trying to do any optimizing until we actually get this built. How about the victors also have the ability to organize a Mafia game? Being the victors guarantees them the ability to be in the game. The others are those that join fast enough, or they bring the storm. Mafia... I think I know what you're talking about. That's that game where everybody doesn't know who's the bad guy and who's the good guy. I like the Eagle Wright Chronicles. I'm just glad that I'm innocent, you know. Unlike the mod, that was a complete lie and nobody should play ever. Sure, I'm pretty sure you're guilty. No. Okay, so here's what we have. I'll kind of show you guys what we have. Oh, great. We have an error. That's what we got. Oh, I did the wrong. Oops. Okay. Online, and then so here's basically how it works. So I have a command, load server data and send server data. These are the basic two that we're getting, and it contacts the server to send whatever data that I pass. So for example, on this command server, it just sends message and loads server data crystals, and then I have basically a placeholder command, whereas if the data is crystals, then I just return this and then echo no command found. So basically this was just a test to make sure the server was working. So if I type server, now it's typing twice. Why is it typing twice? What? Good times. Debugging, first thing we're gonna do. You have the detective, the jailer, a number of mafia, and each turn you accuse someone. If found guilty, they execute the roles revealed. Comes down to who wins, innocent of mafia. There's a game called... The fuck is that game called? Town of Salem that I play that's kind of like that. Alright, so... Did I duplicate this? Or it returned twice, didn't it? Let me see. Hold on. Oh, is the bot running twice? Is that what's happening? Hold on. Wow. Wow. That's the issue. That's gonna be. Yeah. Okay. So it was just running twice. Gotta pay attention to that. That's a stupid little problem that will take you down a rabbit hole for a very long time. What Discord is that? This is a test server. Okay, so let's get to work on our first command, which is check in. Or Believe or deny, I believe already works. Let me double check. Yeah, this is a fucking mess. I gotta clean this up, but okay, this is the command that converts the person that you mentioned. Okay, so we need to do the one where you convert yourself. So let me just do this real quick. Get rid of some of this extra bullshit. Okay, so let me see what happens. Let me test this real quick. He's a heretic. Let me remove him from a heretic, and let me just say convert at Jimbot, and it converts him. But it doesn't allow me to do that if I'm not a heretic. So if I remove heretic from his role, and let's remove it from him too. So I say convert at Jimbot. You can't convert someone. You're not a heretic. Why it mentioned him though? So I've got a couple of things. This is Adam. This is Adam, and we're using Node and JS on the left and PHP on the right. So this is, on the left side is the bot, and on the right side is the server. Have you played Candy Raid? Rat Sale, I think I played your Jam version. I don't think I played a version after that. Maybe, yeah, maybe I did, because you sent me the other version, right? I think I played it after. Not in the last couple weeks though, dude. What did you add to it? Okay, so we're gonna so we're gonna change this to believe. About 50% through. Oh, sweet. Do you get paid for doing this? What do you mean? I mean, I make ad money on YouTube, and there are donations and stuff on Twitch, and I have a Patreon. So, I guess? Not directly, but like indirectly. I don't get paid directly to do the stream, but it's just something I do for the community. To hang out with all the cool peeps. Have some fun. You do equality checks with a single equals in PHP? Do you want a double equals? Is that what you're saying? I can do double equals. Here, does this make you guys happy? Is that are you good now? Can the universe rest? Next you're gonna say, oh, you use tabs and not spaces? Oh my god. Tim, how dare you? What are you doing? My code, okay, my this code is not going to be the best. I don't know shit about Node, and it's been forever since I've used JavaScript, and this is fucking code that I pulled all of this from an app that I did like 3 years ago. So this is all just cobbled together. I was trying to do it as quick as possible. You guys are You guys are in for a treat if you're looking for clean code, because you're not going to find it here. That was a serious question since I never coded PHP. Maybe equals for equality is valid. Equal with PHP is not case sensitive, I believe. Double equals has to be case sensitive. So it's valid, it works, but I think the technical right way to do it is to use the double equals if we're being anal here. Never coded here. Where would I start? You never coded at all? Never done any coding? Checks if two values are equal. Yeah, they have to be 100% equal though, right? Because this works. With one equals, it works fine. It doesn't throw an error or anything. If you've never coded before, dude, I would start with something with like one of the drag and drop types of game engines. If you want to make games, I wouldn't necessarily start with coding. So I've been confused since I got here. Who's using a Tim Russell account chat? G-Man, those are all the YouTube people. It's just relaying the chat messages over. All right, so we have their user ID. So we'll grab their user ID and we'll say shit. Rather than new member, we add user ID to a role. I don't know if we can do user ID. Let me just remove the error checking and see if that even works. Because I'm pretty sure it should. So and just say like you are newly converted. So that should convert the role. Let's rerun the C node. Boom. We'll restart it, and then you plan on Unity livestream? I do not. Data to load double equals return true or false. Data load equals crystals would always be true. This is the correct way to do it, but I know that this still works. This doesn't set the variable. This still checks if it's true. So that works. We reran the bot. Let me pull up the. So now we're gonna do, what is it? Believe. Well, let me remove my. I'm not a heretic, right? No. Okay. So if I do believe. Okay. Oops. This has to go here. So let me get rid of this stuff. Just try that. You guys are watching the dirtiest coding on planet Earth. Because I don't know shit about any of this. Believe. It converted me. Perfect. But it converted me to heretics. So this should convert me to believers. So group B role. And then, so now we need just error messages to make sure if you're not already in that role. You're coding like me, don't feel too bad. Wait, maybe you should. Yeah, okay, so Ratsa, I need your help if you're still here though. This code works. I need you to be my code buddy through this because I don't know any of the syntax for discord.io. So I'm going to need your help if you're still here. Can I just do userid.member.roles? Because this is finding the member. No, this is the. No, never mind. This is it. This checks their role, right? The user that sends the message. This checks the mentions role. Okay, so this is, never mind. I got it. I just had to read through it. Okay, so if you're already in the role, then we would send the message. You are already a believer. You're already a believer. Should that be capital if we mention them? And then we'll get rid of this. And we'll move this down here. So then, what if we did @heretics? Welcome. No, that would get annoying. That would constantly. I was gonna say welcome to your new user, but no, that would get crazy. Did we get rid of this? Yeah, we did. Okay, so now basically, if you're already part of the role, it says you're already a believer. You are newly converted to a believer. Okay. So this should work. Let's double check this. Node, boom. So let me remove. This should make me a believer, not a heretic. So believe. Oops. Believe. Converted me to a believer. You are a newly converted believer. It didn't mention me though. It's supposed to mention me. So, actually, in order to do this, we do @ I believe, and then in here we do user ID. Right? That should mention me. Maybe, we'll see. Maybe. Believe. I believe with a V. Believe. I can't even spell it. No, it doesn't mention me. Who in this chat wrote a Discord bot too besides Ratsail? FM, I think it's you, me, and Ratsail. We're in the Discord bot club. Hello, Tim. Not a bear. What up? All right. So actually, we don't need this. I can just put that over there so I can read this. That did not work. So what am I? There's a space there. That's why. Oopsie. There's not supposed to be a space there. Let me restart. And this time, let's test the error first. Believe. You're a newly converted. When I was already a believer. What the fuck? What? "13 years old, so interested in game development, but I'm stuck with a computer. Honestly, it's very good at all. Where would you recommend starting? Start with the computer that isn't very good at all, dude. You don't need a really good computer these days to make games. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. Let me remove believers and see if that changes it. No, it doesn't care. It says the same thing anyway. Aberton, thank you very much for the donation. Just came by. What language are you coding in? So on the left side, we have Node, JavaScript with the Discord.io API. On the right side, we have PHP with all the server data. The language over here is JavaScript, yeah. Okay, so roles that find is group A. Else. Why does this not work though? It goes here each time. Watch a lot of your vids, keep up the good work. I also made Discord bots. I'm trying to make a game for school work, and I didn't even think of combining the two. Well, you know, neither did I until we were messing around with Discord. The best ideas come from the random places. So all that happens here is I'm just checking if the role equals group A role, group B role, and I hard-coded the group A and B roles up here with the user IDs just to make things easier. So I'm setting group B in the else. Wait, group A is... Okay, hold on. Let me... I should have wrote that down though. Group... heretics... How do I find their IDs again? Right click's not working. I think I found their IDs with a weird... Okay, so let me just change this. I think group A is the heretics, so yeah, let me just change to group B. You guys are probably right. Let me rerun it. Okay, so now if we say believe, you are already a believer. Bam. And if we're not a believer, then we say believe. I'm a newly converted believer. So we just got to add this little part up here. You are now converted. Okay. So this is convert. We're gonna leave it alone now because I might need that later. But we're gonna say believe or deny. I'm just going to change that is group A and then add to role group A role. You are already a heretic. Let me actually add that to heretic. heretics, believers. Just so we have that for later reference. This looks like we'll let you join both groups right now. Yes, it does. But I'm gonna remove the other role when you join one. And you're able to do it once every 24 hours, but I got to set up the whole server system to figure it out. My main problem is I don't know what engine to download because my computer won't run it, and I could just program from scratch. My computer's like really not good, so that. Dude, you can go on Construct 3 and you can make games in a browser. You don't even need to download Unity or anything. If your computer can't run Unity, you know, you could try something like that, and you could at least get making games. Heretic. Okay, so let's make sure that this works. Node, bam. Alright, so if I deny, I'm a newly converted heretic. If I deny again, I'm already a heretic. If I believe, I'm a newly converted believer. If I believe again, I'm already a believer. That works. Like someone pointed out, though, you can join both. So if I also do deny, it's going to add me to both. So now we got to figure out. I think it's game dev. Is it remove from role? Server ID, role ID, user ID. So it's the same thing. Remove from role. And we just do group A role. And group B role. So it'll just remove you from the other one. At least it should in theory. Let's see if it works. So now if I say believe, I'm a believer, and I go deny, I'm a heretic. And it removes the other one. So I'm a heretic if I go believe, then it removes heretics, and so on and so forth. Okay. So this code is solid. Now we just need to do the server checks. So I gotta set up I gotta create table. So let me get the syntax for that real quick. SQL create table. Okay, so we need ID. Well, where's the fuck? What was it? It's been so long since I've done this stuff. Not no auto increment. So we'll add that first. ID int not null auto increment. That's always the first one I like to do. The person ID will change to user ID, and we'll make that an int, and that's what will store the Discord ID actually rather than user ID, just so we Don't confuse it with a Discord. Discord ID. Discord user ID. Just to make sure it's long, but I'd rather be descriptive. Jay, what up? Welcome to the stream. In the words of Tim, start simple. Hell yeah, you should start simple. Don't try and make an MMO. Try and make a fucking Pong game. Okay, so what else do we need? I'm trying to think for our table. Well, we should keep track of conversions probably separately. We'll go conversions. Does the Discord ID fit into an inch? I don't, SQL int size. Yeah, it should fit. Or maybe we might need a big int. Because they're pretty big, right? They're like, if we do, I set this up to send me back my ID. Yeah, we probably need a big int. Good looking out. So Discord user ID, then we need like the timestamp, right? Conversion timestamp. Yeah, what's the auto SQL auto timestamp? Do you guys see what I'm doing here? I just want to say, like, anybody that thinks they can't get started coding, it's been so long since I've done this, I'm literally Googling line by line how to do each one of these things. So you can literally, you can create anything by just doing stuff manually and copying and pasting. There's nothing you can't create today. Everything on the internet is fucking insane. This is what we do. This is what we need. Sam, you're not the only one. Yeah, I know. There's a whole generation of people that do this. And so anybody that says they can't code or they don't know how or they don't know what to do, just start building something and like line by line Google how to do the shit. It's not a big deal. It doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, lots of people aren't going to see your code. I mean, in my case, they are. I'm putting up with embarrassment for everybody. Show how shitty my code is. But it's not a big deal. Conversion date. Conversion time. What else will we need to keep track of? Because this will just keep track of like the... Or maybe we could make this a general log table. Rather than just have conversions, we could just keep track of everything that happens. So, yeah, user log. That way we just log everything. And then we could just access the conversion. So then we'll do like a action type. And we'll do, I want to do a varchar, not an enum, because we'll do like 16 characters. Do you need a conversion history? If not, you could just put the group info into the user table. I wanna log in a history of everything that happens, just for like analytics purposes to figure out the game. Bradley, what up? Hey Sam, do you have any tips for getting started with a game? Get started. Just get started. Just do the stuff. How useful is SQL for gaming purposes? Storing user data? Well, there are a lot of systems that integrate with a lot of engines that are probably easier, but SQL, I love relational databases. There's a lot of stuff, like AWS has their own version of one. I think it's, I forget what it's called. It's pretty good. I like it. I really like the syntax. It's somewhat easy to understand. So action type, and then we'll do action data. Action data. So we can dump whatever, like, if the action type is something like convert, the action data would be converted to believer or something. And I'll keep that at 255. I'm not really worried about space. I don't really care. Sure, it could probably be smaller, or we could figure that out. But initially I want to test and just see what we end up with. Sam, I think your video's got a serious upgrade ever since you hit the 365 days goal. Even though our less vids are way more helpful this way. Well, thank you, Sir Mouse. I've been trying hard. Really been trying hard to step up my game on the videos. Create table. User log. I actually need to... create table in database. Do I just list it next to... I need to list the... Where do you enter the database name? Because I have multiple databases, I don't want to enter the wrong one. Create table. Oh, I wish I would have kept up on this stuff. It's been so long since I've... Does anybody know that, where I mentioned that database? Because I have a Discord bot table. I don't want it to enter. I think my schema is the default. I could make it the default, I guess. Temporarily. I'll just do that. Isn't the action performed on the currently selected database? I don't remember. I'll just set that to default. I know it uses the default. I missed a bunch of peeps. I'm sorry. Master Jack, Guilty Gecko, and Stressed Out. Thank you for the follows and the subscriptions. I appreciate everybody. All right. So what else will we need for a table? Conversion time, action type, or rather than this will be action time. Action time, action type, action data. That's all we need, right? That's it. Create table. How many action types are there? I don't know yet. Name of schema dot table name. I think I saw that syntax somewhere that I just read. That's probably correct, Bart. Thank you. Let's try that. Discord bot. Oops. All right, I'm gonna create just a files that we can. New file. Database.sql. I'm just gonna paste all our stuff in here if we ever need to recreate it. And then execute it. Invalid value for action time. Date time default. Current timestamp on off date. That's invalid. Huh. Cobra, what's going on, dude? Like the stream idea. Thank you, Cobra. Daytime default. That part's correct. Current timestamp on. SQL timestamp update auto. The difference between timestamp and datetime is timestamp is just the numbers, I think. I guess it doesn't really matter which one we use. We can try that and see if it's any better. See if it works. Oh, that doesn't work either. Default. How do we just set every table you insert or every row you insert, just add the timestamp to it? That's so many. Can you use now instead of current timestamp? I know I've used now in a. I don't think you can use that when you create a table. You use that in a query, I think. I could be wrong on that. Let me. On update current timestamp. Yeah, you can use now in PHP to do it, but I want the table to do it automatically because I'm lazy. Let's just do a timestamp. Let's see if that fixes it. No. There can only be one auto column. Must be defined as key. Oh, we're not setting it as a key. Oh wait, this one worked. This one worked. But we got the wrong error. Invalid value. No. Oh shit. This one worked. I've messaged you several times. I'm still unable to join your Discord. Brian, I think you got banned, man. You could set as default current timestamp. Yeah, that's what we got. So we got a. Okay. Discord bot user log. So how do we? Let me just see this last one. SQL. Set ID auto. And we got to set a primary key. That's what we're doing wrong. Brian, don't talk bad about the mods, dude. That's a good way to get banned from the Twitch chat and YouTube chat as well. Don't start more shit, man. Come on. Using primary key. What is happening, my dudes? What's up, the dome? What the fuck? Where's it at? Set ID auto increment primary key. I just forget the syntax. What it is. No, oh, so okay, we just add primary key at the end. That's easy enough. Auto increment primary key. There we go. We did it. We done did it. Sound is a pound in the dome. Thank you for the follow, guys. I appreciate it. Yeah, Brian, dude, come on. I know the story. The mod told me the story. I looked at this stuff. You know what you did. You got banned. That's part of life. If you want to get banned from YouTube as well, keep talking shit. Or you could just be polite and enjoy the stream and hang out with everybody and talk about game development and put that in the past. All right, so we created our table. Now we're gonna create a, we're gonna send data. Send data. Okay, so here's our MySQL code on send data, and we're actually gonna log everything that happens. So it's not going to be a separate command inside the bot here. It's going to be a log in the database. So right here, we connect to MySQL. Then we're going to insert into refresh. There's our user log, so we'll select it. And so we have, oops, user log. Table is user log. Tim, how do you maintain health? Like in real life, or like how do I do it in my code base? And we'll do, what is our structure here? We don't need ID, so we could skip that. And we do Discord, oops, Discord user ID, Discord user ID. We don't need action time because that updates automatically. We just need action type. And then action data. Sam, what kind of game are you making a Discord? We're making a Discord bot that is actually plays a game. And then the value is going to be user ID. User ID. Actually, we need to put this in quotes, don't we? User ID. Action type. That's going to be data type. And then value 3 is going to be action data, and this would be data to send. And that'll just store everything in the log. Pretty cool stuff. First time making a Discord bot, Tim? Yeah, it is my first time. And I've been dusting off all of my old programming skills to pull it off. MySQL query, boom. Okay, so in PHP you need to book in. Oh yeah, you do. You're right. You is right. So that's dot. 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 Saw you at Pro Indie Dev. Amazing job. Well, welcome to the stream. I'm glad you enjoyed the Pro Indie Dev. That was pretty cool. Did you make it to PAX? I'm going to PAX West. I didn't make it to PAX East. Okay, so why is this not highlighted though? That scares me. It should be highlighted red. Dot. So this should be a group. This should be a group. This should be a group. Am I getting something wrong? Do we actually need quotes here? Oh, we may not. Let me test it. So send data. So we need to actually use this. So send server data. You need single quotes for the values of your varchar types. That is very true. Okay. You can include variable strings with a dot. In PHP you can. In JavaScript it's a plus, like this. Okay, so data type in this would be conversion. Data to send would be heretic converted to heretic, and then the user ID would just be the user ID. And I actually set this up as a get variable so that I can test it. Boom. Is naming your studio name the same as naming your game? Easy and simple. Yeah, a lot of those points would apply to company names as well. Brian, you are disrupting the chat room, dude. This is your last warning. If you don't stop being a dick and talking shit, you're gonna get banned from YouTube as well. Last warning, dude. Just come on. Let's be nice. Let's have a good chat about the content. All right. So this should convert this, or this should at least log that. It should log it. So let's. Tim, what kind of game are you making? Okay, so we got some new people in here. I'll explain the game. So basically, the objective of the game, it takes place in a Discord room, okay? And the objective of the game is to have the most crystals in your team's bank by the end of the week. And if you are that person, if you have the most crystals in your team's bank, you become a victor for the next week, the next 7 days, and the victors get to control all of the emojis in the server. And the way you do that is once a day you can check in and you get a random amount of crystals between 4 and 10. So once every day you can check in and get a random amount of crystals, and then you can use the command deposit to deposit those crystals into your team's bank, or you can buy things from the black market to disrupt the team or buff your own team or like double the amount of credits or send a taunt to the other team or do random stuff. And basically the way that it works is at the end of 7 days, if you deposit more than the other team into the bank, then you become the victors. So that's the basic game we got now. That's the basic version of the game that we have. We're going to add on to it and tweak it and do stuff that, you know, whatever we figure once we get to testing it. I'm just trying to build the basic version now. Is this the Dark Souls of Discord bot games? Yeah, I mean, it's team versus team, and you can only pick one side, so. If you make it out alive. I'm so happy someone is using my code. Your code's good, dude. Samonatos Professional, thank you for the subscription, I appreciate it. Your code was really well done, Ratso. Better than my shit. Okay, so theoretically, if this works, let's test it because it might throw a PHP error. So here it is. So user ID equals 123, data to send equals test, and data type equals test1. So just test2 to make sure the variables aren't messed up. Send, oh, because it's not uploaded yet. Okay, so let's upload it. Bot server, send data. And let's refresh. Undefined variable user ID, line 27. How is user ID undefined? It's defined right here. Because it's capital. PHP is case sensitive. Don't forget that. SQL numbers parameter 1 to be MySQL result boolean given. Line 29. So that means this connection must fail. Let's see if we have anything in our database. We do. We have 1, 2, 3, test 1, test 2, and we have the time. Okay. So that's a warning. That's not an error. So it still went through. So I guess Boolean given. That must be. We don't really need this code. As long as it's not false. Because if it's false. And not equals, you put an extra equals. No, that's accurate in PHP syntax. That should work. So this should. There we go. There we go. We done did it. Okay, so there should be 2 in here now. Yeah, there's 2. So we now have our database. Bam, our log is working. So now what we're gonna do is now we're actually gonna try this and the believe, and this should actually show the log node. Boom. So then where the fuck is the disk? There it is. So now if we go believe, you're already a believer. Does it still log it? Yeah, it does, doesn't it? No, only if you convert. So nothing shows up. Nothing shows up if you're already a believer. But if you're not and you go believe, you are newly converted believer, and then it logs your user ID, the action time, the action type is conversion, and you're converted to a heretic. Bam. You just sent me lore for the game? Did you write a whole thing? It's been 12 years after interstellar travel first flung us into space, and there were so many people that foolishly ventured into the great expanse of space before governments finally achieved the power necessary to enforce space travel regulations. It's understandable with the tremendous pressure here on Earth, but their carelessness is nonetheless suicidal. The lost have not been heard from in a few years. We were worried that they had run out of interstellar crystals before finding a place to call home. Until now. As of yesterday, footage from the Earth and Long Orbit data satellite shows numerous amount of mining operations created by the Lost. They were mining interstellar crystals. A delegation was sent to one of the mining outposts for a closer look, as well as communicate with our long-lost friends. Delegation never returned, but a black box signal was received. They were killed upon arrival. The collected governments of the Milky Way quickly tagged them as universal enemies and proceeded to make the plans to claim the mining operations. One could say their actions were made out of greed. It probably was. The war for interstellar crystals begins today. Who will be the victors? The lost or the found? I like that. I like that. I don't like the names though, if I'm being completely honest. I really like all of this. That's a cool backstory. I'll keep that open because that's something we're gonna let marinate. Lost and Found, yeah, play on words. Damn, dude, you're a good writer. Seems like a novel I would read. Okay. So now we got our log working. Let me expand this to. Oh, this is wrong, but whatever. Oops. Converted to heretic. Converted to believer. So that, I'm assuming that's just going to work, which is a really bad assumption when you're programming. You should never just assume something's going to work, because I guarantee you, the second you assume it's going to work, it's going to fucking break. Alright, so now what I want to do is I want to make a get data version, and I want to say data to load. I want to say check last conversion. Is this Java programming? No, this is JavaScript and PHP. Doulos OG, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Staring Pog, and I intend to come back next week. Your YouTube videos have been super helpful kicking off the dream job here. Good luck, dude. You can pull off Pong in a week. Put your head to it. Join our Discord. Plenty of people willing to help. Let's start a discussion in the chat about possible faction names. Do you guys like Believers and Heretics? I actually really like G-Man's story. If I can fucking, there it is. If I can find it. But what can we do for faction names? Let's start a discussion. G-Man, are you officially okay with us adopting this? They gotta be two factions that are clearly opposition to each other. Believers and Heretics, Lost and Found. Yes, absolutely. Sweet. Heretics is a bit weird. Yeah, it started with the gym thing. It doesn't really make sense anymore. Nespressos and depressos. Tear it apart if you have to. It's just a suggestion. G-Man, we may edit it a little bit. Did you code it to support a third faction? No, I only want two factions. I don't know what a third faction would add. Apex, are we going with a Italian name? We're talking about the factions. Coffee versus pop versus tea. Elves, dwarves, and orcs. We'll start a war there. Star Wars versus Star Trek versus Battlestar Galactica. There's a game in my... This is a game that I designed a while back that I never used called Echo 1. And there were a bunch of different factions in that game, but two of them that I remember that I loved were the Children of Eden, which, by the way, there's a game called Child of Eden now, which pissed me off because I fucking love that name. But the Children of Eden were basically people that worshipped AIs. And there was this ship called the Eden that was sent off into space and never required. It was supposed to settle on a distant system, but nobody ever heard back from it. And since the journey was so long, nobody could follow them or anything. And they were the Children of Eden. They believed that the Eden people were still alive, and they worshipped the fragments of the AI that was left in that ship, which I always thought was pretty cool. Like humans worshipping AI. I think that's only a matter of time before a religion starts where humans worship an AI. Like once AIs are sentient and stuff, that's totally gonna fucking happen. And then there was the corporation, which is like a cyberpunk dystopian sort of like, I think I called it Icarus Corporation or something like that. But it was like, you know, one of these global multinational type of Google or Amazon, but on an interstellar scale that, you know, they're into military tech and all kinds of stuff. It'd be interesting to do like even a Star Wars thing too, like the Rebels versus the Empire. I don't know. I have to go now. You guys have fun. See you later, G-Man. Thanks for the contribution. Alright, what were we doing? We have to check their last conversion time. Alright, so get data, check last conversion. Actually, I'm gonna need... switch data to load, and then we'll go check last conversion, and we'll do Q equals boom, and then we'll do this down here outside of the code, and this can go the religion versus the order versus the anarchy. Is there a reason you guys want to go 3 factions? Everybody seems to want 3 factions. Can you guys outline why? It wouldn't be too difficult. I'm hard coding everything, so I just have to copy code, which is messy, but it works. What is the name of the game? There's no name yet. Lerpish, thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. Children of Ether versus Children of the Abyss versus Switzerland. I think 3 works better because 2 smaller groups can gang up on a 3rd. That's a good point. That's a good point. That's a good point. That adds like a different dimension. I didn't think about that. Okay. Alright, yeah, I'm down to add a 3rd. Alright, let's add a 3rd. Let's go with it. Anybody have any ideas for the fiction? I like G-Man's story, and I'm definitely open to a sci-fi type of theme on it. So, okay, so hold on. For I Discord service already. So let me do this. Admin get role IDs. And I believe this is the code. So let me rerun this. Shift C node. Okay, so this pulls up all the roles and the IDs. So let me add a third. Let me add a third here. Server settings, roles, add role. We'll call it Terran Zerg Protoss. The Order, the Religion, and the Anarchy. I like that, except I would say the Order and the Religion kind of sound similar. The Order sounds like a religion. New role. Cult of Fuckery. I don't know. We'll figure that name out later. I will make it purple. Because why not? Let me run that command again. Get the roles. Cult of Fuckery is... Can I not copy and paste in here? I can't, okay. That's Fuckery with a capital F. So group will make a group C role. And we'll copy the ID. And then let me just copy the functions. Is group B role, is group C, C role. Razor, thank you for the follow, I appreciate it. Third. Apex Scavengers Wild. The Cyborgs versus Jax versus Pilots. I'm sorry, I'm behind. Potatoes, watermelons, and broccoli. You know, let me just say something about broccoli. I don't know if Nicole's watching right now, but I went to dinner with Nicole and her mom last night, and she ordered pizza, but she ordered pizza with broccoli on it. She ordered broccoli pizza, okay? That was an experience. Let me just say that. Group C role is wrong. There's an extra... What? Where? Let me just say something about pineapple. No, pineapple's not. It tastes weird on pizza, but it's not like bad. Broccoli was just like, what the fuck am I eating? Like I've had one of those Alfredo pizzas with where they, instead of tomato sauce, they use Alfredo sauce, which actually Broccoli on Alfredo pizza wouldn't have been so bad. Left an accidental quote in Group C. Where? Oh, up top? I did, you're correct. Thank you. Okay, I thought you were talking about the functions. So what we'll do now is I'll just copy. So just to keep track of this, I'll just change this to 1, 2. And actually we gotta remove the other 2 roles. So remove from role Group C role. And then same here, Group C role. And then we'll do 3. 3 is Group C. You're already whatever. Add to role Group C role, but then remove A and B. All right, so we're going to need names fairly soon because this is going to get complicated to figure out. Am I a heretic now? I don't know. I removed all the functionality from the main server, so I wouldn't worry about it. I wish I could give people the ability to only edit a certain channel section. Are you copy pasting code? Shame on you. How dare I? How dare I take the easy route? The fuck is wrong with me? I bet I'm not even really a game developer either because I didn't code my own engine. The fuck is wrong with me? 1 private channel heretics. We'll add another channel, text channel, private channel. 2 believers. The Fragger versus the Fulgur, Thunder and Lightning in Latin. Carol, thank you for the donation. I appreciate it. Those are cool words. We actually need 3 now. We have 3 roles though, not just 2. We could do like a fantasy sci-fi type of thing, like maybe like Earth, Wind, or Earth, or mechanical, or sentient, or something like that. 1, 2, and then let's add 3. Text channel, private channel, cult of fuckery. So there's 1, 2, 3. Only the people with those roles have access to each one. And then we'll also do permissions. Fire, ice, and wind. Oh, that's right. Those are the things for candy. Who tagged me? Someone tagged me for programming help. That's how to enable RSS versus daily audio videos. There is an RSS bot for Discord. I think it was called RSS bot. Me6 bot is easy to use, and I would try that too. All right. Has anything new gone on since I was here last? We got our thing working, and we decided to go with 3 roles instead of 2. Okay, so let me make sure all these roles work. So let me rerun the node. Boom. Oh, Shift C also ends the bot, which is interesting. Whatever. All right, so I'm gonna remove all my roles, and we're gonna say 1. You are now a converted heretic. It converted me to heretics. Perfect. I'm gonna say 2. Converted me to believers. Okay, and I'm gonna say 3. It still says believers, but whatever. It's cult of fuckery. I gotta change in server settings, roles, cult of fuckery, display roles separately. There we go. It'd be cool if your code supported easy changing of faction counts. Not really. I'm doing all this the shitty, messy way. We gotta figure all this out before I actually build the thing the right way. You get it done dirty and then you fix it. That's always my philosophy. You gotta get shit done first though. Alright, so I only have about an hour and 15 minutes left of stream. Because I actually have to go somewhere at 8:30. And it's 6:45. So we gotta get on this. If you make 3 name variables, then the winner each week would rename the losers. Yeah, but that could get... Alright. I guess we could put all this in a function, couldn't we? And we could just say add to role. Is this a Timbot? We're making a game out of it. And actually, since we were talking about names, Anarchy, Descendants, and Initiative, that's pretty good. I like those names. What's the lore behind those? Sell me on it. Stop motion. Sell me on it. Go. It's your job to convince me. Alright, so we have all the logs. So actually, let's check our logs real quick. Select rows. Yep, they're all here. Perfect. All right. All right, so we're good. We have our conversion system down. What else did we want to build after that? We wanted to build the bank system. So actually, let's do the check-in system now. Oh no, wait. Before that, we wanted to make sure to check the last time that they converted. So let's... So we gotta check... Oh, that's what I was doing. Get data. So check last conversion. Insert into is the wrong command. We need... No, we need... Let me get rid of... So much bullshit. I'm convinced. He didn't say anything. I'm still waiting to be sold on it. Why is it taking so long? Okay, so check last conversion should read. Let me go SQL find or compare check if command timestamp is within 24 hours. Yes, this is what I needed. Thank you, Internet, for allowing me to be lazy and not think and just write code or steal code. I would like to make a quick comment on 24-hour timer check-ins. It leads to people having to record what time they check in each day. Wait one more minute after that. Could you make it any time during one calendar day instead? That's a good point, Doulos. Let me do that. Check if timestamp is today. Today, where timestamp is greater than current date. Select from what did we call this? User log. User log. Is it capital L? Yes. Do you think there should be a balance between games quality and the marketing, or that one's more important than the other? I think marketing is a multiplier on your game's quality. So, fantastic marketing and a shitty game will still get you somewhere. Fantastic game and shitty marketing will still get you somewhere. But if you do them both really well, you're going to do really well. So yeah, I think there needs to be a balance. I wouldn't make a shittier game to focus on marketing, but you definitely can't just go without thinking about it. Terran, Orders, Human, Democratic Faction, Cybers, Nasty Faction based on cold reasoning, Man Imperfection, Drifters, Free People want nothing to do with the rules. That's interesting. You know, maybe we could lean into something like programmers, right? Like maybe we could actually lean into that whole the lore of coders and programmers that we are. Like, I don't know, like the tabs not spaces faction or some programming joke or something. We could make it fun and interesting. Or do we want to make this accessible to everybody? Coders, artists, composers. Oh, we're going to start a war there. That could work. That could be interesting, though. And they're very different personalities. Coders and artists, especially. Alright, select. We don't want to select everything. We just want to select. And then check if backend, front end, and database. Are you gonna pick languages, Rex? Oh shit. We're gonna have console wars. PC versus Xbox and PS4. That would fucking start some shit. You call the game Console Wars. Unity versus Unreal versus GameMaker. Oh my god. Yes. Oh my god. You know, we could probably, if we went all the way with that, we could probably get coverage in so many different places. We could use that as like a marketing ploy for the game. Engine Wars. All right, so select actually let's put connect up here, and then we'll say and so what we'll just say is if so this doesn't work for whatever reason, so we just got rid of that. But then we'll say if it's not false, that means that this actually went through. Return zero, or echo 0, then exit. Why is my caps lock on? Else, wait, echo 1. And then what we would do is so get data, so load server data, and then we'll say, let me do this on 1 first. Key binders, macros, and scripters. What game are we making? We're making a Discord bot, whack, yeah. It's a bot that takes place in Discord and basically forms a game. So we'll say if load server data, data to load would be check last conversion, and the user ID would be user ID. And we could just say F, because actually 0 and 1 count as true or false, right? I think. Because if 0 returns doesn't do anything, but if 1 actually does it. So let me do if this, so this makes sure that you haven't converted today yet. So if check last conversion user ID, it returns true if it not equals false. Selects from user log. But we kind of need this then. We kind of need the num rows greater than 0. The WoW factions are running in circles. Okay, so let's check this then. Get data.php. W4R6, thank you very much for the follow. Here's our bot code. Let me see. Get data. Good data is slightly different though. Get data requires data to load and user ID. So data to load equals check last conversion and user ID. And let's put our actual user ID there and see what happens. Well, first of all, why does it still return that? That's a mistake. Because we haven't updated it yet. Because we need to update our files. That's why. Alright, it's get data. Okay, so 1 and UID, so let's turn debug off on get data. Because it's actually putting the user ID. So it returns 1, which means that if it doesn't equal false, that means, wait a second. I have a very general idea what the factions are, but I don't know exactly what their goals are yet. What are their names, Isaiah? Oh, okay. The originals. Initiative has the power to fire a masterful weapon at will. Or can they stop the descendants before their owners betrayed them and they no longer have the key code to fire the weapon? I gotcha. Where they have to like discover commands and codes and stuff. This, like, the more I think about this, the more excited I am about this because I feel like it could get really, really interesting. Okay, so Echo 1. Let me just wrap my brain around this for real quick. So check last conversion, user ID. This gets data. Check last conversion. Select from use log where timestamp is greater than current date. So let me actually add this because let me see if this still returns the error. Because we're going to need this. Get data. So we're not getting an error anymore. Okay, so if it's not equal false and greater than 1, which means actually let's change the names. So has converted today, just to make it easier to read because it's hurting my brain. So has converted today, and if it doesn't equal false and it's greater than 0, then they have converted today, otherwise they haven't converted today. So that just makes it easier to understand. So let me change my code to has converted today, and then it doesn't post anything. Great. Oh, because I didn't upload. Because I gotta upload. Maybe I should start streaming my coding too. Do it, Ratsail. Do it. I mean, yeah, like, it does help to have an audience, right? Like, it's really hard to get an audience from scratch. And it takes a lot of dedication. So 0, okay. So has converted today, no, which is incorrect because I have converted today. So let's see. So is this my actual user ID then? Copy ID. Yes, so 0. Let me convert and see if that changes. 3. It does not. So something's wrong. Something's wrong with our code. Tried streaming my code, but I actually found it distracting. It is distracting. It would be easier for me to sit here in silence and do this. But I'm doing it with the community. We're hanging out and I'm trying to make something interesting. Descendants are the last of a cult who believe that long ago humanity betrayed their god by another god must have his vengeance on humanity. What was it? What was the three? The order, the anarchy, and the something. Diverting a lot of energy to stream interaction, got very exhausting. Yeah, dude, it takes a lot out of me. When I get off stream, I have to go and like sit in silence. It definitely feels like I'm in a room full of people, even though I'm not. The religion, the order, and the anarchy. I like that. I like that. That's probably my favorite one so far. Because different types of people will gravitate towards different ones. Anarchy, Descendants, and Initiative. Those are not bad either. Go back a couple things to read the past few things I wrote and see them in depth. Yeah, I saw what you said about the Descendants and the Initiative. Okay, so let's try and finish this before I get too lost. This is what happens, by the way, when you're coding. It's like shit, man. Yeah, I keep losing my train of thought because it does take a lot of effort to stream. Okay, select. Let me actually run this. Oh shit, that's what I'm doing wrong. Select ID from user log where timestamp equals cur date and Discord ID, Discord user ID, I think it is. Discord user ID, right? All IDs, all caps. Yeah. Discord user ID equals user ID. There we go. Aaron, thank you for the subscription. I appreciate it. Get data. Data to load has been today. User ID. So why would that say no? My user ID is in here. It's not timestamp, it's action time. That's why. Thank you. I thought I found the problem, but I didn't. Thank you for that. There we go. Now it's 1. And let's just double check. Let's delete this stuff from the database. Or actually, we're checking log. Action type has to be conversion too. And action type equals conversion and. So it's got to be all those things. Not just any action. Drop table. Oh yeah, I gotta write drop table in there. That's right. Okay, so we're at 1. As long as it types 1, that's good. We're gonna delete these rows. And we're gonna select So now we don't have any conversion rows in here. We're going to refresh and it turns to 0. Bam. Okay, so now, so let me just finish up the code over here. So let me say if has converted today, else. If it has not, if has converted today, there's no, or not send server data, what am I doing? Send message. Send message. And say you can only convert once per day. I don't know how this works. Are there going to be any concurrency issues? What do you mean, Cobra? Mr. Bracket on your else? You are correct. You know, the good thing about streaming is that you have an army of people willing to tell you when you do something wrong. Because there are like 1,000 problems you guys have found that I did not see at first. That would have took me hours. Okay. So now I'm gonna add these 2 pieces of code. Wrong one. Wait, what the fuck? I don't know what the fuck I'm doing anymore. How long until we have to decide the names? So far, me and Rats have the best ones. Like, what names are we going for as of right now? I'm leaning towards... Isaiah, I know you put a lot of work in that, and I appreciate it, but I'm leaning toward the Order, Anarchy, and the Religion. Although, I'm leaning towards that more as archetypes, not necessarily names. So, the Religion, for example, could be Cult of whatever. The Order could be Order of the whatever. I like those as archetypes, like Order, Chaos, and God, or Suffolk. Oh, that's, oh shit, I'm just fucking my code over. Okay, this is the original, right? Yeah, so then I just do this. Has converted today. You can only convert once per day, okay. This is group B, and then this is group C. Has converted today, else. Okay, so this should only let me convert once per day. Let's go ahead and test it. There's no more logs. Okay, so now we'll go 1. And we broke it. We broke it. Great. Great. What did we do wrong? We could mix and match. I appreciate that mine was even an option. Well, yours was Anarchy, Descendants, and what else? I keep forgetting. I'm going in and out of code. I'd like some kind of rock, paper, scissors type of thing. I lost him. Did I go offline? Okay, so something wrong with the if then. What if we just did equals 1? Would that help? Oh wait, we got an error. That's what happened. User ID is not defined. 119. Because it's lowercase. Oh, I gotta stop doing that. I really gotta stop doing that. Okay. Node, boom. Come on, there you are, Jimbot. Okay, so 1. You are a newly converted heretic. So we see the role of heretics. We should see it in the log. There it is. Conversion, converted to heretic. And now if I try and convert to 2, you can only convert once per day. And then if I delete this, let me make sure this doesn't actually make a second entry. It does not. If I delete this row, apply, and then I convert to 2. What? 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 Maybe it was a 2. What the fuck? It knows. It knows. Gary, the heavy metal god. What's going on, dude? How you doing? Discord bot. That made me choke. I don't know why. A Discord bot game is one of my running projects as well. Sweet, dude. The stream keeps freezing. Am I dropping frames? Oh shit, I am dropping frames. Why am I dropping frames? I don't have anything processor heavy running. I use a Discord JS library with Node. We're using Discord IO library. Need to go. See you later, Rat Sale. Thank you for the code help. Okay, let me try this again. 2. Can only convert once per day. Now, why would it say that? Because technically with no rows in there, let me see. Okay, boom. It's still returning 0. Has converted today. Which it should be. So why is he getting all weird on us? You're getting off 2 FM? I'll see you later, dude. Alright, so if has converted today, where's 2 at? Has converted today, user ID. Oh, because we didn't do the equals. Okay. Let me go ahead and add that. Equals 1. There we go. That's why. So let me shut it down. Why is it not shutting down? Node. Come on, Jimbot. There you go. Oops. 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 Double oops. Okay, so now we're going to go 2. You are newly converted believer. You see we're in believers. Now I'm going to convert to 3. You can only convert once per day. So it knows we already converted. So we're going to select this. Am I opening a new tab for every single one of these? Are you kidding me? I didn't realize I was doing that. I could just keep hitting. Alright, so there's our conversion. If we delete the conversion, the log in the conversion, then we should be able to do 3 again. And now we can convert. Alright. You are using a database? Yeah, we're using MySQL on the database end. It's I haven't touched a lot of this stuff in a long time, so it's a hodgepodge of random shit. Trying to converge everything. Alright, so you were programmed in Golang. Not saying that there was something wrong with JSPHP. I've never heard of Golang. What the hell is that? Figuring out Postgres for database stuff. The library I used was actually someone in the game dev Discord, in the GDU Discord, recommended it. Where is it? I forget what it was called. I think I saved it though. Sync request, that's what I use. Sync request. And it's really simple. All you do to query, oh well, that's for passing command, that's not for the database itself. Okay, so we have our 3 groups. So for the new peeps wondering about the game that we're trying to create, I will let you in on it. So the objective of the game is to have the most crystals in your team's bank by the end of the week. If you do that for the next 7 days, your team is in charge of the Discord's emotes. You can add, edit, or delete any emotes that you want, and you can completely control the server in that way. The way you do that is once a day you can check in. That gives you a random number of crystals, and then you can choose to, with those crystals, to either deposit in your team's bank to go towards your score, or you can use those crystals to buy things off of the black market to help sabotage the other team, or add buffs to your team, or do whatever. We're still working out what all the different buffs and debuffs are, but there's going to be a lot of different stuff. That's the basis of the game. And now there are 3 factions, and they're warring with each other. And we have the faction system working. We have the conversion system working, where you only can convert once every 24 hours. Now it's time to move on to check-in, which is going to require a separate database. Can I have the Discord link? I want to play. When it's up and running, I'll give the Discord link. I'm guessing probably maybe next stream, next Friday. We should be running, and then maybe we can join in there and everybody can mess around with stuff. Node.js has unblocked I/O, which is good for a backend taking a bunch of user input. I'll look into that, Gary. The reason I'm using MySQL is because I'm familiar with it, and I know that I can access it for other things. Like technically, with this backend, I could create a game in Construct that would pull this data. So technically, I could create like a real-world version of this game, like top-down, of like actual dudes fighting each other, and I could pull like the Discord name and all that. from all the different things. Like basically, because I want this data online so I could do cool different stuff with it. Don't expect any of that stuff anytime soon, but I'm saying like it's technically possible when I have a all this stuff on the back end online. Okay, so we're gonna need a user table now. So let me copy this and we're gonna create table users. And we're gonna have the ID, obviously. We're gonna have the Discord user ID. We're gonna keep that. We're gonna have the time joined. So this is the first time it ever registered any command. Would it be better if you could only convert once a week? End of the week, everyone would end up on one faction. Spoonie, that's not a bad idea, actually. Convert once a week. Node.js isn't a database, it's just server-side JavaScript. Yeah. Gary, what we're using on the left side is JavaScript and Node, and the right side is PHP and MySQL. This is all the server stuff, this is all the bot stuff. So we're using all of this to save data on my server, and we're using all this as the bot that connects to this. Is it just GS or using, or is there any PHP needed for Discord bot? There's not, but I'm using PHP for the backend to store data because I want my bot to remember things. I want to start learning game design. Should I start with learning modeling or programming, or should I start with something else? I think you should start making games, Alden. I think you can download plenty of engines that are drag and drop. And I would just, if you want to learn game design, you don't actually need to know how to program or model. So if you want to just learn to design games, I would just start making games. If you want to learn how to actually do all that, you know, an engine that's drag and drop is pretty easy. So you installed a MySQL node model then? No. I installed this sync request, and sync request just allows you to send data to an HTTP address, and then I set up the server side on my actual server because I want all of my data hosted on my server, accessible by the internet, so that I can use it in other games and projects. So then I can pull a command like this, for example, to get the entire body of this website, and then, for example, this is my send data thing, and it just says 343 crystals in the vault or whatever. Whatever this says, I can pull into the bot and just use, if that makes sense. Okay, what was I doing? I lost my train of thought. So we're creating a table, that's what we're doing. So we need the Discord user ID, time joined. We're gonna need a wallet. This is gonna be an int. That's how many things they have in their wallet. And that's pretty much all we're gonna need, I think. I'm using a module for Postgres so I can directly create a database in Node. So writing PHP. Yeah, that's a quicker way to do it. If I only needed the database in Node, I would probably set up something like that. I need the database accessible from the internet for multiple applications. So like I said, I can build a game in Construct to pull the data from the internet. From here, I can use a series of things. So the PHP that I'm writing is basically an API. It's not just for the bot. It's for other things. I eventually want to have a visual indicator of the entire game running. Like I want to show battles and stuff in real time. I think that would be amazing. Oh yeah, Inspiration Nova, what up? Alright, Discord user ID, time joined. Wallet, I think that's all we need. Because we can have a separate table called inventory and it just hook it to the Discord user ID. Leave it denied, deposit, victors. Yeah, that's pretty much all we need. So, let me paste this here. Not much is going on. We're trying to make a game out of a Discord bot. Alright, refresh all users. Alright, so then now we're going to say on the join commands, we're also going to query, so has converted today. Find PHP to be so confusing. We need it for a web programming class in college. Just never clicked with me. Also think extracting the game data to do some extra stuff could be awesome. Yeah, I'm excited about that prospect. I don't know what was confusing about PHP to you. I find it actually really easy to understand. Actually, I think it's easier to understand than JavaScript is, because JavaScript being asynchronous can be weird sometimes. Are you just familiar with PHP, as in why PHP as opposed to others? PHP, I don't really know why I chose PHP. I learned it back in the day. I built a lot of web applications with it, which, I mean, for server side, it's effective. It's quick. I don't really know the pros and cons. I haven't really tried a whole bunch of other like server side stuff. That's right, you worked on your own websites before. Yeah, we did. Early days of my marketing company, we actually built websites too. So that was part of our services. Well, I say our, but it was pretty much me for like the first couple years, just building websites. And then we had a partner and we grew a little bit, and I stopped doing a lot of this stuff. But vaguely, I still remember how all this stuff works. And so when we come to today, when I'm trying to put everything back together, and it's been a while since I've touched any of this stuff. Alright, so when you convert, it needs to add your ID if you're already part of the group. If not, and you have converted, then we'll send server data. Send server data conversion. Boom. Convert it to a heretic. We'll also send server data. New user. New user. And we'll add the user ID in there. Oh, that's another thing we needed to add. I forgot. Should we store their nickname? Should we store their nickname? so I could see all the different users, or should we just have the ID? It's fine. We can add that later. New user ID. So then we'll say send data. Oh shit, this is really not developed at all. Did I cut this? So, new user. Get data puts the connection above it. Derek, thank you for the subscription. I appreciate it. Insert into. Actually, new user. Let's do that. And then this is actually conversion. Insert into, yeah. Or no, this logs everything anyway, doesn't it? I guess we could do it this way. So conversion, boom, new user. We need to check, we need to insert if not exists. We used it with HTML, and to be honest, we were given skeleton code to make our own site and did not help. The lecturer is not too familiar with the language. Yeah. Did you have programming experience before? Did some confidence challenges with my friend earlier. Sweet, dude. How'd it work out? So new user. I gotta get off soon, peeps. So conversion does all this stuff as normal. And then new user, we need to SQL insert if not exists. Okay, that's our query. New to the stream, what's a confidence challenge? That's not a stream thing. I assume he means like stuff like in the 4-hour work week, where you do things outdoors in front of people to just get more comfortable in your own skin. Sergey, correct me if I'm wrong on that. If not exists, select Discord user ID from, what did we call this? Users? Users where Discord user ID equals user ID. We don't need the ands. Begin. Did we add the begin and the end? Is this SQL? I've never done begin and end. I don't know what. Oops. If not exists, insert into users. What's our table structure? All right, it's right here actually. Discord user ID. And wallet. And we'll put user ID and 0. Okay, so that should work. So let's do that. Let's rerun this. Shut down, bot. Use your ... around user ID. It works. It works in strings for fraction. It doesn't work with double quotes though. Let me run this. Open PowerShell. Alright, so are you sure on that? Yeah, I am sure. I don't know if it's technically correct, but I know it works. Where is our database? So user log. Let's delete this so we can actually convert, and we'll say 1. You're newly converted to Heretic. Let's make sure that it shows our user log. It's not there. Why is it not there? Are we in users? No. Something went wrong with the PHP. Send server. This is get data. Undefined variable data to load on line 20. Oh, data to send. Data type is what we needed there. Data type, and then what were the other errors? 25 and 42. Okay. Node. Did they go bye-bye? Yes. Okay, so let's check our log again. It's free. So now we can go to newly converted to a believer there, boom. Our log should show one other entry. It does. And our user should show one user. It does not. So I don't think this query works. Let me actually try this. Let me try this in the database. Yeah, this isn't even a valid query. I don't know what the fuck I was on. Why PHP? Why not PHP? Wait, what? Insert into... This is what I was looking for. I think this is... I knew that query looked weird. Insert into users. Discord user ID wallet. Select Discord user ID, users as users 2. Can we do the same? I don't know if they're the same name. Select Discord user ID. Delrin9, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Discord user ID from table 1 users where that's with 2 tables though. When do you need to leave? No, I need to leave in like 12 minutes, someone. I have to, we're going at like 8:15 and it's almost 8. So I gotta leave pretty soon. I'm trying to get this done before we go. Have you ever thought of doing a C++ game in Unreal, or do you prefer to keep using the methods you use now? If so, why? I don't really have a desire to do 3D games, dude. So C++ game in Unreal never even crossed my mind. I don't know why I would. Alright, I think this is the query that we need. So let me perfect it first on the actual thingy. So table, so users, and we need the Discord user ID. Select from Discord user ID as where not exists where Discord user ID equals, we'll say 7. from users. Incorrect integer value Discord user ID. Alright, so on users, do we have one now? So we have a insert into users. So this insert statement is incorrect. Or it's wait a second, what did I do? Rupert somewhere, boom. Okay, so that's what I did wrong. Now if we refresh this, it should be a Discord user ID of 7. Yes. But now if we do this again, it doesn't insert it again. Boom, that's what we wanted. Okay. So instead of 7, Discord user ID and wallet. And instead of select user ID and 0. So that should work with send data. And we're going to test that here, send data. Data type is going to be new user. Data to send is going to be 117. User ID is 123. That just means it's 0. We actually need... Actually, let's just test the... Fuck testing it like that, because that doesn't really accurately represent the code. So node, boom, we'll get it running. You have SQL questions? I do not. Are you a pro, Jason? What am I part of? Believers. Let's do 3. You can only convert once per day. Obviously, we can't convert. Let me delete that so we can convert. 3. You're a newly converted believer. Boom. So that means there's thing in the row and then users. It did not add the ID for the user. I do SQL and REST integrations almost daily at work. Oh, sweet. I wish you would have been in there earlier, dude. I was Googling queries left and right. Maybe you could help me out. Well, this is working, but it's not. Oh, equals 7. Well, I'm dumb. I'm not dumb, but that was dumb to do. You can get someone's unique Discord ID by escaping an @ tag with / on desktop version of Discord. Oh, really? I don't know if you know. What I've been doing so far is if you go into settings and forget where it was. I think it's in your personal settings. Where is it at? I don't remember. There's a way to set it up in dev mode to where when you right click you can copy the ID from any user. Okay, so now it's actually the user ID. So let's send data. Let's make sure that this works. Let's delete the entry from the log. And let's try it again. 1. And users. Bam, there's the user ID and the wallet 0. Perfect. That's exactly what we wanted. And if we do that, let me delete the log one more time. And if I do that again, it should not enter a second. It shouldn't enter a second table for him. So this is just a user table. Perfect. It did not enter one. That's great. That's exactly what we wanted. Okay. Alright, so now we have the whole user system set up. Now that we did that, the wallet system should be pretty simple to do. All this SQL hurts my eyes and brain. Relational databases, when I was first learning them, I was like, holy shit, this is so complicated. But after you learn them, like, oh my god, they're so useful. Like, I was thinking, like the other day, not the other day, but like a couple months ago when I was looking at the code for my game Black Rim, it uses a lot of data and it uses a lot of like technical systems, and I have a whole dialogue system in it and all that. And the way that I'm doing it with Excel sheets is just because I have to use CSV files to import to Construct. I was considering just writing a whole MySQL database and PHP API to pull from, because relational databases are so useful. They're so useful. So useful. Alright, so this is working now. This is not in the right place. This should be here. Conversion. Oh, this doesn't matter, because that's only in get data. Yeah, so it doesn't need to be in either one of them. Okay. So we have all that working. I only have a couple minutes. Let me make sure. Still 8:15. I'm just double checking. Nicole's supposed to be here soon. We're going to a paranormal carnival or some shit. I don't know what it is. You see an example of an escape username and off topic. Sweet. You can also do this backwards, Gary. I don't know if you know that, but if you go open at and then you put the user ID, it actually mentions the user. Get rid of the exclamation point, I think. So if you do that and it mentions the user, that works on the API too. Alright, I'm going to stay on a couple more minutes until Nicole tells me I got to get off. Alright, she's about to leave, so we have a few more minutes. Few more minutes. Okay, so let's see if we can just we do the check-in command. So has converted today is similar, so get data. We'll copy this whole command and we'll say this is check-in. Check-in. Just remember to store it as a string and parse it back when you need it. Yeah, what I did is I just stored the IDs, and then I can get all the stuff from the IDs. I can get the nickname or the whatever. Or mention people or do whatever. So check in. So check from user log where action time and action type equals check in. If it's MySQL is greater than 0, then we do our check in code here. Already checked in today. So we'll do check in. So load server data. No, this should be in send. Should be in send data, shouldn't it? Yeah. Send data. Good luck with the game. Hope to catch a stream next week. See you later, Neil. We're going to get off stream very shortly anyway. So send server data. It returns the body. So what we'll do is send server data. And that is data type, data to send. Data type would be check in, data to send, maybe nothing, and then user ID. How's Philophobia? It's going good. It's going slow, but it's going good. We're getting places. Okay, we should have a build this month, I'm hoping, because I gotta get it ready for PAX West. You can only check in once per day, and then if it equals 1, it's successful. So you are successfully checked in. You earned what's rand in Philophobia? Or not Philophobia, what's random in JavaScript? Is it just random? Yeah. Or math.random. Okay. So let me go bar check in amount equals wait, what? That's between 0 and 9. I don't want to do between 0 and 9. How do I return between two numbers? This should not be this difficult. What the fuck? Max, it's min max. Oh, Gary, you're great. Thank you. Thank you, sir. I'll add it to my little functions. Random, low, high, perfect. Should not be that difficult. Checking amount is random 4 10. Check-in amount. So check-in amount. You are successfully checked in. You earned crystals. Okay, so this should, the check-in command, so select, so it's actually going to be similar to this one. Similar to new user. Make sure Nicole's not here. Tell me when you leave. I'll turn my phone notifications on just so I can see. We left. Oh shit, they left. Okay. Unfortunately, I gotta finish this later because I have to get off. Nicole's coming to pick me up. We gotta go to an event. Going to the paranormal carnival or circus or some shit. But thank you, everybody. My head's cut off, but thank you, everybody, for coming out. It's awesome to hang out. I appreciate everybody. We had fun today. We built a little bit of the bot. This bot should be done by next week, and hopefully we can have the beta. We can have the beta next week, next Friday maybe. Everybody can join and cause chaos, and we'll see how that works. Maybe in the middle of the week, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But I appreciate everybody coming out and paranormal broccoli pizza. I know, right? But I appreciate you guys. I'll see you later. Have a good Friday, everybody.
Do my own thing, and I maintain.